Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on today's video. You know, before I say anything about this car, enough said. You know exactly what it is, you know exactly what it does, but the one thing you don't know is a couple secrets inside that maybe I know about. Hopefully you didn't read the description first. If you read the description first, then you already know the end of the movie. So anyway, I'll run you through the plot real quick, and then I'll tell you about a little bit of suspense at the end, and then we'll talk about what this might do for you in your world. Anyway, we're talking about 96 Viper GTS, 7,500 original miles on this car. Anyway, I acquired this car maybe 7 years ago when it had 4,500 miles on it. It was sent out to Heffner Motorsports, Jason Heffner. It was the beginning of what he did that a lot of other people couldn't do, and then he grew so big he needed to move his facility, and now he does the same thing to Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Vipers, and things like that. But this was in its infancy. It's really well done, handcrafted, and spectacular. So we'll walk around that for later in the video. Anyway, so as we look at these cars, you know, these cars command a lot of money. The blue with the white stripe cars, the 96 and 97s, the only years that you could get that. First off, this is the first year car. That's why it's the most valuable. Secondly, it's really low mileage. So, you know, it started life at around 4,500 miles on it 6 or 7 years ago. Now it's got 7,500 miles on it. We're talking 2,000 to 3,000 miles in 7 years, which is virtually nothing. You know, this guy drove this car very little. Matter of fact, the last 2 years, he hadn't driven at all, and that's why he wanted to find someone else to be able to take on the legacy of this car and enjoy it some. So that's what we're trying to do, find the right person for this car, and maybe it's you. I don't know, but we'll take a peek. Come on up, let's check out the quality of the paint for a second. This Viper blue paint is very nice. Okay, keep in mind these are hand-built cars. They're hand-painted, all right? Selling maybe in between 800 and 1,000 of these a year. You know, they build that many Toyota Camrys in an hour. We're talking about an entire year. Stripes are on here, which were optional. Everybody loved those, so that every car got them. And as we walk around, we're going to look at a couple other small things. So come on back here and check this out. We have the 18-inch BBS rims with 330 tires on here. So, you know, obviously you have big brakes on this car. You got to have 18s all the way around just to fit the rotor and caliper in there. And if you could just see the sectional width of this tire, it is so freaking big. We'll look at it from behind. And that's why rolling down the road, these cars look so awesome with the two twin pipes there. Wall-to-wall tire, looks like Fred Flintstone's car with just one tire all the way across. It looks pretty cool. But you know what? The bodies are spectacular. They're almost cartoon-like. Like when this car first came out, people were like, no way can you ever build this car. With a giant opening there in the hood. This is the year they went to the rear exit exhaust, okay? Because some people didn't want side exit exhaust. The exhaust system still runs down here, but then runs out the back. But really what you care about is what's going on under the hood, and that's what we're going to check out right now. Here's what we got. We got ram air right here. You can even see the K&N filter right inside there. All fresh and cold air coming right at the front of the car. None of the hot air from the engine compartment getting inside anywhere. Nice thing about it, the hood release in here, okay? Got a safety right there, and then what we do, we just roll up in here and come check this out. This is where things get a little different than most other Vipers. Now keep in mind, this car started out with a wheezing 450 horsepower, if you can say wheezing. Huge amounts of torque in the 500 approaching the 600 foot-pounds of range, depending on who you ask, okay? And then what we have is a supercharger, a head package, and exhaust upgrade on the car. Now keep in mind, the head upgrades on these alone can net 100 horsepower out of them, all right? Add the supercharger for another 120 to 150 horsepower, and this is on low boost, by the way. Upgraded injectors, fuel rails, and throw in an intercooler on top of it. This car makes 700 plus horsepower, okay? And supposedly 700 plus horsepower at the rear wheels. Don't know that to be true. I don't have a dyno here, but if you take the 450 plus the adds that I've mentioned and things like that, we got to be somewhere regardless at 700 horsepower. It's ridiculously fast, and it makes this crazy sound in between shifts where the pop-off valve huffs in between shifts. So you roll along like good as you shift to second gear, and it's like this monster's under the hood. It sounds really, really cool. So anyway, this is the motivational unit for this, backed up by the big 6-speed, and then you got the heavy-duty rear in the back, which is also independent. In the center section is bolted in place, and the axles are free to move however you want. All right, so let's take a peek from behind. If you could, come on down here, because this right here, this view is so effing cool. Check that out. Wall-to-wall tire back there. This big monster tips dumping, you know, that 8 liters of engine out the back. The stripes that go all the way down. It almost looks like they go underneath the car and completely around. I just love these cars. You know, we talk about the first generation or the second generation. You even have what they call a third generation, which is a couple mild updates, but more horsepower. These cars here continue to hold their value and keep going up in year, especially a 7,000 mile car like this could easily be returned back to stock. Inside the car, there's a couple small little items that the customer used to dress up the interior, but other than that, this car is bone stock from the outside. You actually get a little bit of storage. You can go away in this car. They've really made it functional. Not only is it a ridiculously fast race car, but they've had this piece built here, and then inside here, more storage and a spare tire. And it's got this cool Viper plate. Okay, do you have one on the back? Yeah, so we'll put that back on because it looks really nice. The interior in here is really, really nice. Now keep in mind, this is 2011. This is a 1996 Viper. So it's a fairly old car. We're talking about a 15-year-old car. The interior is spectacular in here. You're talking about a car too that's kind of hand done. Normally you would expect it to deteriorate, and it has not at all. 200-mile-an-hour speedometer, 7,000 RPM tach. It's got the Alpine sound system in it with CD. So it's got the subwoofer and back. It's got the speakers surrounding in here. Full gauges, power windows. These couple chrome pieces are really, and the door sills are really kind of all that was upgraded on the car. It can easily be returned back to stock if you wanted to. This does have a short throw shifter in it, so it's like click, click, and it's really just awesome. This also has adjustable pedals too. So there's a knob under the dash. You turn the dash, the whole pedal rack system moves back and forth so that some people don't end up driving like this, and some people don't end up driving like this. You can get the seat just the way you like it, and then move the pedals to where you want them. It makes for a really great drive. Okay, how about I start it for you, because enough of the rambling. You can hear the upgrades in the engine. You can hear the idle of it sounds spectacular. So let me just fire it up so you can hear all those details. You know, with a $20,000 engine upgrade package, probably $4 or $5 grand worth of wheels and tires, these cars typically sell for what we're asking for the car just the way it is. All of this stuff is free. So this is an incredible, incredible buy if you're looking for a Viper with a lot of power, with great looks, and it's collectible also. So if you find a way to get a really low mileage, really very, very nice car in your life, this might be the car to get. 96 Viper GTS, call us 301-816-1000 and we'll tell you all about it.